People come to know Christ because we live out what Jesus called us to be the Good Samaritan, to use our resources, our gifts, our abilities to serve those who are around us. My name is Jeff Hirspink, and I am one of the founding pastors of F Street Neighborhood Church and have the privilege of serving here. A few years ago, when we did an anniversary special on our 5-year anniversary, we realized that every year there was some significant event that God had allowed us to accomplish, I would say, in the neighborhood, and the focus of our ministry to be a place of acceptance and direction. 2014, we actually were able to start this church and take over a beautiful old church facility in a underprivileged part of town where we're able to serve and love on people who often are neglected or underserved, and be able to share the gospel and hope of Christ with them. 2015, our family moved into this neighborhood, which was not our intent, and yet that became one of the key aspects of our ministry, to be able to live in the presence of the people we're serving, and to be able to be available to them sometimes 24/7, and just to be a part of the neighborhood and what God's doing. In 2016, we were able to start Immerse, which Beth led for the first 5 years and has been a great success to help raise up leaders. And a lot of that comes out of my experience in Seattle, when I had just been mentored by Vanderstelt to be able to serve there and take on that role. And so we have a heart to raise up leaders and see that as the fulfillment of Ephesians 4, to equip people for ministry, to use our gifts for that. In light of that, in 2016, we started the Lincoln School of Ministry with another ministry here in the neighborhood. In 2018, we were able to start Atlas, which is a ministry that mentors people. We just didn't have the workforce here at F Street to care for the people that God was bringing to our doors. And so this was an opportunity that we started to really see where, if we could connect people to people from other churches, that they would be the bridge to them getting to know Christ, to just walk alongside of them in their times of need. But also, hopefully, that a lot of those individuals would end up in those other churches as well. And it also took a lot of people from the churches who often didn't know how to engage with people in our neighborhood and our community, and gave them an opportunity in a safe way to connect with one person and make a difference to that one individual. In 2019, we were able to start the Transformations Thrift Store, and that was something that started out of F Street with the heart to kind of increase our footprint here in the neighborhood, serve the neighborhood with something that wasn't available, often just inexpensive clothing for people. And also it became, and it was the intention to be able to fund Atlas, and so to see that ministry continue to thrive. In 2020, what was fascinating to us and unbeknownst is we merged with Jacob's Well, which was the church that we started the Lincoln School of Ministry with in the midst of COVID. And so when we reopened after our shutdown, actually had as many people attending at that point, and now have more. But that has just been God's provision to allow us to merge with this other church that was already meeting in our building, actually, in the evenings. But they brought some solid people, Christ followers, into this community, and allowed us to increase our ministry to those in the neighborhood, and both financially, a lot of their leadership, and just overall discipleship. So that's been a huge piece. And this last year we were able to start Celebrate Recovery. You can just see and understand the vast needs of addiction and brokenness and lack of relationships. And so people are in poverties of all different ways. And often they're not coming out of just, they've made a ton of foolish mistakes. It's often a lot of foolish things that have been done to them, and their experience with those. And then maybe, yes, they haven't handled those properly, but we like to say around here, we've yet to see anybody who comes to know Christ because the church neglected them in their time of need. As we look forward to 2022, we are excited to hopefully use the original church building that was started on this property. It was a gift, actually, from the state to be one of the 10 original churches in this neighborhood as they were creating this as the capital. And that building has been sitting vacant for many years, just tucked behind our church building here, and we're hoping to turn that into an art studio. We're excited about all the opportunities that will bring to serve and connect with those in our community, and see this as the focus of 2022 moving forward. I want to personally say thank you. My experience of being a part of Shoreline Christian Reformed Church has prepared me for the ministry that I did at the Northern Lighthouse, which prepared me for the ministry that we're doing here in the neighborhood. And if it wasn't for the opportunity that I was given in Shoreline, I wouldn't be able to be doing what I'm doing here today. So I'm very grateful for the work and the opportunity that I had there. I'm also grateful for the ongoing support that we have received. We say it's a privilege to walk alongside the poor and the hurting, but often they can't support their own church. And so by the support of individuals and the church as a whole in Shoreline, God provides for us, and we've been very blessed to be able to take over this incredible facility, have no debt, and be able to continue and even thrive in this neighborhood serving Jesus.
Thank you, Lord.